Hey, welcome to Bahasa Little Project, and this is your level 1 lesson 7. Okay, so welcome back. I hope that you are still eager and excited to learn more about Bahasa Bali. Maybe now you are still preparing for your vacation in Bali, and I promise you, I think I can make this promise, right? That you will have a better vacation once you speak the local language. At least this is true for me, okay? Maybe I should not make that promise. But whenever I go somewhere and if I speak their local language, I would be able to really enjoy my stay better because at least I would be able to say thanks or please or you are welcome in the local language and really connect more to the people there. Okay, so now we will continue by learning tenses. And last time we learned about present tense, and now we will learn about past tense. And also, the same rules apply. If you recall from our last meeting, okay, the verb stay the same, right? So you do not need to change it, and like in English, you need to put an ed or change the form. But in Bahasa Bali, luckily we do not need to do all that. So makan, as you can see here in the video, if you are watching this on YouTube, I ate, you ate, they ate, we ate, she ate, and he ate is the same thing and the same structure in Bahasa Bali, just like you eat. Okay, so you eat and you ate is the same thing in Bahasa Bali. You eat is ragane makan. What about you ate? It's also the same. Ragane makan. So how to differentiate? Maybe now that's your question. If you want to differentiate, you can tell that by the adverb of time. So obviously present tense would be tiang terus or tiang nguai makan. I eat every day. So that would be present tense. What about past tense? Ibi tiang makan. Yesterday I ate. So there you go. So basically you just change the tense by changing the adverb of time. Very simple. And you usually can use, because one of our subscriber on YouTube asked this question, you can use for most cases the adverb of time in the beginning of your sentence or at the end. Sometime also in the middle of the sentence. If you are not sure about it, you can just post a comment and we will let you know what are the options available. Okay, so there you go, past tense. That's it really, very simple. Okay, now after knowing past tense, this is the perfect time to learn more about other adverb of time in past tense. Number one, we will learn how to say last week. Okay, this is the same thing as in Bahasa Indonesia. Again, if you have learned Bahasa Indonesia with us, you maybe already know this. So last week is minggu lalu. Minggu lalu. So minggu is week, lalu is last. So last week is minggu lalu. Minggu lalu. Okay. Last month is bulan lalu. Bulan lalu. If you think about it, I mean, if I think about it, actually there is the real Balinese version of lalu. That would be sane sampun lewat. The literal translation would be the one that has passed. So minggu lalu in the real Balinese language, not borrowing from Indonesian or Bahasa Indonesia, would be minggu sane sampun lewat. The week that has passed. Okay, but we do not really use it at at least the youngsters, or it is not very popular. That would be used by older people, maybe in very very formal situation and in very very polite situation. But just for your information, you can say minggu lalu as minggu sane sampun lewat, and or minggu sane sampun lintang. Okay, that would be even more polite. But in this lesson, we will stick with minggu lalu. So again, last week is minggu lalu. Last month is bulan lalu. Okay, so man is bulan. And this is interesting. Bulan is man and also the moon. So if you want to say the moon in the sky, it is also bulan. Okay? But going back into our lesson, bulan lalu is last month. What about last year? Last year is tahun lalu. As you may already guess, year is tahun. Okay, one more time. Tahun lalu. So now you can practice that. So for example, you can say, yang makan di restoran minggu lalu ajak timpal. I ate at the restaurant last week with a friend. Bulan lalu Tiang membalik TV Juma. Last month, I watched TV at home. You now can make a lot of sentences really. You can ask questions, you can create negative sentences by using the verbs and the grammars that we have learned so far. So I hope that you are having fun with that. Okay, so go practice that. You can write whatever sentences that you have in mind or you are practicing in the comment section and we will have a look. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, so now we will learn some vocabulary. This is questions, how to create and form questions. Number one is when. This is quite interesting because in Bahasa Bali, we have two different versions of when. So if you use when in future context, you need to say bin pidan. For example, when will you eat? Bin pidan ragane kermakan. Bin pidan ragane kermakan. When will you eat? So you obviously have learned kermakan, right? Will eat. When will you eat? Bin pidan ragane kermakan. Okay, so again, in the future context, you need to use bin pidan for when. But in the past context, you need to use ipidan. Okay? Future bin pidan. Past is ipidan. So if you want to ask, when did you eat? So you need to say, ipidan ragane makan. Ipidan ragane makan. Okay? So yeah, there you go. Bin pidan and ipidan. Number two is where. Okay? Where is DJ? That's the polite version. The very polite version would be ring DJ. Ring DJ. DJ. Ragane DJ. Where are you? Ragane ring DJ. Okay, that's very simple. Nyen. That's who. Okay, number three is who. Who is nyen? That's polite version. And the very polite version would be sire. Again, sire. Sire ragane. Who are you? Remember, we do not have to be in Bahasa Bali. So you just need to combine who and you, then you have it. Who are you? You just need to create the question-like accent. Sire ragane. Who are you? Okay? Or nyen ragane. Who are you? Different politeness level. And next is why. Why is dadi keto. Dadi keto. That would be the polite version. Dadi keto can also be translated into how come? Why? Dadi keto. Or the very polite version would be dados kenten. Okay, one more time. Repeat up to me. Dados kenten. Dados kenten. Dados kenten bli. How come, man? Why, man? We have learned the bli, right? And next is what. What is apa? That would be the apa. What? Well, depending on how you are saying it, apa can sound rather rude. Like what? What do you want? Like apa? Okay. But the very polite version would be napi, 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 napi. Okay, and the last is how. If you want to say how, is can. You have learned this when you learn how to say how are you. Can kabare. So can is how. Can or sapu napi. Sapu napi. You also have learned this. Sapu napi gatrene, right? How are you? The very polite version. So how is can or sapu napi. To recap, you can say bin pidan, ipidan, for when, dije or ring dije, for where, nyen or sire, for who, jadi keto, dados kenten, for why, apa, or napi, for what, and can or sapu napi for how. Okay, so practice that. That's a lot of new words for you. And we will also learn in this session useful expression. We will learn how to say please or help. Okay, please or help. You can say tulung. So maybe you want to scream for help, right? So you can say tulung, tulung, help, help. But tulung can also mean please. Tulung, blah blah blah. You can just use it. Let me revise this. Okay, so now it is corrected already. So you can again use tulung to say help, help, or please. Okay, but most of the time, tulung is for help, help, tulung. Okay, so yeah, I hope that you will not need to say that, but in case you need it, if you want to ask for help in emergency situation, you can say or scream tulung. Okay? Okay, now it's time for sample sentences. Number 1. Ipidan ragane makan di restoran. Again, ipidan ragane makan di restoran. What is that? If you recall, ipidan is when in the past version. So, when did you eat at restaurant? Ipidan ragane makan di restoran. When did you eat at restaurant? Number 2 is ia sing meli pen minggu lalu. Ia sing meli pen minggu lalu. She or he did not, because minggu lalu, right, is past tense, did not buy a pen last week. Remember that. Sing can be translated into did not, will not, does not, do not, depending on the adverb of time. Okay? Essentially, it means not. Okay, so yeah, one more time. Sing can be translated into did not, does not, do not, depending on the time. Ia sing meli pen minggu lalu. He or she did not buy a pen last week. And the last sample sentence is napike ia ke airport bulan lalu. This is also the same. Napike can be translated into do, does, did, depending on the time. Because bulan lalu is past, right? So, did she or he go to airport last month? Remember that go is implied in Bahasa Bali. Again, napike ia ke airport bulan lalu? Did he or she go to airport last month? Okay, last but not least, test yourself. Okay, so now I will give you 3 sentences. Try to translate this into Bahasa Bali or Bahasa Bali. Okay, number 1 is, did we eat at restaurant last month? One more time, did we eat at restaurant last month? Okay, number 2 is, I did not buy a car last week. Again, I did not buy a car last week. Okay. Number 3 is, we bought a book yesterday. One more time, we bought a book yesterday. So yeah, go ahead and answer those questions. Write your answer in the comment section on YouTube so that we will be able to have a look and give you correction if you are making any. Okay, so yeah, good job for today. I hope that this is helpful for you. email us at xspacebali@gmail.com if you want to buy lesson notes, books, or private lessons. You can also support us by donating any amount to paypal.me/xspacebali. Make sure also to follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Bahasa Little Project. Okay? So yeah, good job, keep practicing and have fun.